So after this, we need to also create our authentication service, which comprises of the interface and an implementation. So let's do that. So in that, we are having three interfaces in this interface: create user, login user, and a refresh token. That is to revive the token which has expired. Let's create implementation for this. Now, instead of wasting time to type this, you can go to any of the services, product, service, or category. You can go and grab the post, because it is going to be a post if you want to add user, and this should be a private. Let's also handle the login. So let's grab this. So here we are returning login response. So instead of returning this, which is service response, we're going to say new login response. We want to check only the message, and I'll pass it down this connection dot message. And now let's go to the revive token, which will be HTTP GET. So let's go to category service. Let's see get by ID. Now this will be public client, and in here we are having authentication. And this is revive. It is type of get. This is a client, and now that is an ID. So here we can pass the ID here to this. This is already string, so we can go ahead and say ID is this refresh token. But maybe you know our refresh token may contain / and / and all the special characters. So let's make sure we encode that so we can remove them. And when we get to the endpoint, then we add them together. So let's use HTTP utility. That we can talk about URL encode. This is come from system.web. Okay, so at the end, we make a call to this, which should be an async, and we want to return login response. Okay. Now, bear in mind, once you're doing this, let's grab this. Let's go to our controller. That's our API endpoint. And let's make some corrections. Now, let's go to the controller. Authentication controller. You can see from here, refresh token, we're going to make a call to this. And when we have this, before we pass on to this service, we want to decode this first. Good. So that is in and out. Let's save this. Let's make it sleep. Yeah, you should rest because you're not working on it. All right, so we also have authentication service also created. Now let's go and register this also. So now that we are done with this, we need to We are not done with our service, right? Our library, we are done. So let's go to the client, because we haven't done anything to the client. And now it is the turn of the client. That's the Blazor WebAssembly. So let's work on that. Now that's what we need to do. We need to create a custom auth provider, because you want to handle authentication to the client. Now we know that the user is going to make a request for login and register to an endpoint as an API to return a JWT which contains all the claims. And in that, we need to read the claims and add it to the auth state so we can authenticate and authorize the user while the user uses the component. So we need to create this auth state and then. So let's do that. Now in the WASM, let me minimize the client. Let's create a folder as maybe authentication, and I'll start creating these classes. Okay, so when you check our custom auth state provider, that is what we're doing. We create an anonymous user, which is actually the default user who is not authenticated. Now, when we call this method, which is going to be get called when the page is reloaded and we're authorizing it. Now we want to get the JWT token from the cookie. When we have it, we want to get claims from the token, which actually contains the claims. When we have it, you want to pass the claims to this authentication state and get this user authenticated. In case we do not make success in any of the steps that I have mentioned, we are going to return anonymous. It means that return it and untell the system that the user is not authenticated. It is anonymous. Now here, when we call this method, it means you want to notify the state change and then call this method, which is going to do what I've spoken of. Okay, now we're going to get claims. How do we get claims? JWT that we created contains claims. We want to read it and now get only the claims, because that is what we need for now. And we do and return it over here. So that's very simple custom auth state provider that we have created. Let's go and register this in the program file. And also when we check here, we need to specify the base address of our endpoint. We have installed a new package that is known as Microsoft extension package, right? So let's configure that. And now with this base address, we need to locate the address of the API. So let's go and check. So we go to your service API, you go to the properties, that for presentation, or the host, properties, line settings, and from the HTTPS, that is the address. Let's grab this. Let's minimize it, paste it here. Let's add our route API, save it. After saving, make sure with the Blazor, you go to properties also, line settings, check for HTTPS. That is a port, so grab this. let's go to the API, then go to program.ts file. You see we are adding course, so make sure you add this course 7170. Great. Now we can minimize it to sleep. Okay, so once you've done these changes, the next class that we're going to create is to handle our refresh token. So let's go to the SIM authentication, add a class to this. You know, before we can call a private endpoint, we must make sure the method that we are passed on is post, put, that's for update, and delete. So these are the three methods that we need. So we are going to check in case the request that is being sent and then the response that we are getting is unauthorized, and the method is post, delete, or what's the other one? Put. It means token has expired. We need to think about this one before we implement it. You see? Okay, so let's do that. So when you have a look at what we have created, or the class that we have created, you can see that we are injecting this token service, authentication service, and also the client helper, which returns the public and private client. Now, you can see from here, we want to check in case the request that was sent and we got this unauthorized contains the method that's equal to post, put, or delete. That is, these methods are reserved for admins or authorized with role. So let's say an admin. So when we check and the method is post or put or delete and it is unauthorized, that is where we are checking it here. In case it is not unauthorized, you want to return it, meaning we don't know the results. We don't want to handle that issue here. We want to handle the issue only when the status code is unauthorized 401. Then we want to get a refresh token. After getting it, you want to make an API call. So here we're passing the refresh token to this service, which will make a call to the API, returns the response, and now here we want to convert it to form a one string. So you're going to have the token and a refresh token. You want to form it, so token formation happens here. After that, you want to remove what we have already in the cookie and now set a new one. After that, you want to return this login response. When we come here, in case this response is null, the reason why I made it like you see, in case this is not successful, we're going to return null here. You can also handle try and catch block in case it makes an API call there's an issue, but where it has been handled or it will be handled in the service. And in here, we make the call. We're going to return a response of what? Login response, which is a response model. We want to check in case it is null. In case it isn't, we want to go in and get pirate client. Why do I call this? Because when I call this pirate client, it's going to get to the cookie and then grab the token, take the JWT and add it to this header. So after it has been added to the header, we want to make a send again. So this request, you want to record it. Now, when recording this request, it's going to use a client which has a new header. You see? Now, after doing that, you see from here, we set the cookie. So the new token with the refresh token will be set over. Then we go here and then grab only the token, leave the cookie, the refresh token there, and I'll add the JWT to the header, and I'll make a call. So this is what we are doing to make sure this works. Right, so once we have this created, we need to go and register that and append this to an HTTP client that we created. So let's save this. Let's go to the program and undo that. After registering this, we need to also add cascading authentication service and authorization call. Cascading auth service gives you the ability to get rid of the cascading authentication state component, and that is what you're supposed to add to the app.razor. So we can decide to add a service or add a component. I believe the service is the new one, so let's go and add a service. Now, once you're done adding these services, the next thing to do here is we're going to create our login and register component. Let's say a login and a logout component. So in here, let's handle the login logics. So before we can continue from here, we need to inject all our services. So for that, for global state use, let's inject them in our import.razor file. That is where we can make this globally. So let's create them here. So once you have the category, product, authentication service, and token service, and also the nav manager injected, let's go and use it in our login. So it tells you that there's an issue here from our service interface. I think I made a mistake. Let's go and check if actually there's an error that we made from our login. Oh, okay. So I believe we did this change right. So that is login user. Okay. That is login user. So that means this should also change. So login, change the interface. Now this problem will be solved in no time. Good. So here we need to call our authentication state provider, but before we can do that, we need to inject the authentication state provider in this import.razor file. So as you can see from here, when the button is clicked to log in, we make sure we set this messages and alert type as empty. We want to make a service call. If it is access, then you want to get a cookie over here. You want to set a token to the cookie, right? After that, you want to call the custom auth state method, so we can retrieve the cookie, extract or read the claims, and now pass it on to the authentication state. That's what we are doing. But before we can do that, we need to inject this authentication state. So let's do that. So as you can see from here, we are typecasting this custom auth state to this authentication state. And in that, you want to call this method that we created, notify auth state change. After we are done authenticating the user, we want to navigate to the home page and now force reload. So when you force reload, that is where all the claims identity that we have created is going to take in place. Okay, so we can now have an authenticated user successfully. Let's go and now handle our logout. So in case the user wants to log out, what do? Let's put also in the same folder. So that's a logout component. So with our logout component, we don't need to code anything here as a UI. When the page reloads, we want to remove the cookie, the token from the cookie, and after that, we want to navigate to the home page and I reload it. As soon as we do that, it will just authenticate again and check the token. If it is not there, it's going to return anonymous, and it means the user is now gone. Okay. Now let's see from our login component again. Let's specify the route and then build our UI. So for simple UI for login, I have one predefined already. I'll just grab them and paste it. It's quite simple. All that we need here is username and password. So that's quite simple. I built this. Let me show you. And here we are using the package that we installed. So when you take a look here, we have our div container as fluid. We have a margin and padding as 5.5. That's the bootstrap classes. Okay, that's the row, and we have a column. You can see here we have an edit form. That is the most important thing. We have our model as login, which corresponds with the login that we have over here. Then we have in this data notify data to enforce our validation rules. And in case it is button is clicked and everything is valid, you want to call this. That's what we have also implemented. You see that? Then we are looking through this to check and display the alert. So we are using a bootstrap class of alert. Alert, we can make it as danger, success, info, and that is exactly what we're doing here. So in case it's not successful, that is danger. But in case it's successful, we want to reload the page, so we don't need to show any information over there. Then we are having our form, can you log in? So this is going to be our fitting test. And yeah, this is coming from a package that we installed, Netcode-Hub validation component. So let's close this and open it again. Okay, so this should come from, let's check if we can find the namespace, the using statement, and include it in our project. So that package should come from this netcode-hub.packages.component.validations.uninput. So when we save this, I think this should be okay. From our login components, yeah, it should be okay. All right, so and in there we have our floating text again. The type here is going to be password. Type is password. This type is test. So you can specify the type right here. Since this is going to be an email, okay, so type could be an email, or we can leave it like that. And or we can say this type is test. You can also specify the type right there. Okay, then we need a button to submit to this form, that is login. So if I click on this, this is what's going to get fired. All right, so we are done with our simple login component. We're also done with our logout. Now let's see how we're going to work. So when you go to app.razor, instead of this route view, you want to make it as authorized route view. Let's rebuild this project. So you can see that build succeeded, we have to succeeded, but we are still having this issue. Never mind, that is the work of Visual Studio. So let's close all this. So to build our UI, this is e-commerce, so we must have a stunning and nice UI for this. So I was looking through how we can do this, and I came across a nice CSS template for e-commerce. So I decided to try that, and boom, it's amazing. So we're going to be using that template, okay? It's free, so we can grab it and we can do it. But all that we need here, it is the interface, the front page. That's all we need. For the backend, we need to build it ourselves, a component and all those stuff. We need to do it. So let's see. And that is this site. It is www.free-css.com, and on the template categories and search for e-commerce. This template, e-flyer. So I'm going to add this. I'll put this link here. I'll put this link in the video description, so you can click on this link and grab it. Actually, it is free. It is free. Using an HTML5 design is responsive with 3 columns, as you can see from here. But with these 3 columns, we can add more. We can add more. And if you want to integrate a dark or light theme too, it's possible. You can do that. So that is download it. So I have downloaded it, and I have the zip file. Let me open mine. Let me see. So I open it into Sublime Text Editor. I open the whole folder, as you can see, a flyer free website template from free-css.com. That is the site. Now in here we have these 4 components. No, they are not 4 components. They are 4 HTML files. Okay, they are components when they get into the Blazor world, but they are HTML files. So here we want to focus on the index. Electronic, fashion, and jewelry. These are the maybe you can add them as categories. So here we have this JS files and the CSS files. We have the font and the images. So we're going to copy all this into our www folder. But before that, check here. If you open this one, you can see we are having all these references. So this link is what we need. So let's make sure we grab this. Now this has been, if you see, it is tweak for older IEs, but we are not focused on that. You want to grab the current ones. Okay, so here these are all the static files, and they are making a reference to the CSS folder. When you open it, you can see we have a bootstrap, you have style.css, then we have this jQuery CSS file. So if I open this CSS, we have them here. Let's grab them, and we need to also grab this carousel theme default, so we can switch dark and light, and you have this fancy box. It also implementing font awesome CSS. So let's grab all this. We can also install some of them, like the OL and these themes. They are there. You can also add them as a current library, but maybe we need to grab. So let's grab this one. Then we go to our solution in a www root folder. From the index, let's add it here. Make sure you terminate them well. So after we are done adding this, we can go to, because it's using font awesome, so you can just right click on www go to add and add client-side library. You can add all these libraries in there. So search for font awesome. So you can see we have font awesome here. That is the current version is 6.7.1. So get this installed, okay, and add it. So for me, I have already installed that. So I have the files in the folder nicely. I'll just grab this and to mine. I'll paste it here. So when you are done installing this, you must have a folder named at font awesome, as you can see from here, and you need to add the CS file here. Okay, so how are you going to do it? There's a file in there. When you check here, font awesome css all.min.js, you want to add a minified version, so you can go up and add it. I think I have streamlined this, so you can remove all the CSS files in it. So I've removed them and I have a simple one which is more readable, and I have the font awesome also added, which is open the CSS folder and a file of all.minified version.css. Okay, I have this. The next thing we're going to do here is when you check the file again, we have this font that is using. Where's the font? There's a pop-in, so Google APIs, and then we have, so maybe we can grab this font and also attach it. This one also, you can also attach it, but you know this is going through this link, so you must make sure you are online. If you want to work offline, then I think it's not a good idea to add this unless you are online before it can work. So we can still grab this. Now let's go and paste it. I think should be here. Now let's paste it down. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do is quite simple. We also need to add the Blazor type. You know, we installed a Crescenti package, so it also has Blazor with CSS. We need to also add that. So this is from a package, Blazor type head.css and the JS file. And also, if we check, we added we need to add JS file. So let's go and check from this page, the file, go to down, and we must have the JS file. So let's grab these files. Then here, let's also paste this. So we're having jQuery. It is coming from the JS folder. All of these are coming from the JS folder, and this for the sidebar over there. So we have this. Okay. Now, you know, we installed a package from one of my packages, which is the cookie section. So we need to also add a script. So add the script as well. That is from the cookie, from the package that we installed. So these three are coming from the packages that we installed. The rest are coming from the file, the template that we downloaded. Okay, so once you have this, let's check for last one. You can see that it is saying that we should add this script beneath. So grab this, go to beneath here, add this script. Okay, this is going to help you open the sidebar off and on. So you must make sure you add that, else it's not going to show. It's going to hide it, and now it's going to show it. Now we are going to create small components and extract these CSS and this HTML file that we have created. This element, we want to extract them so we can set them pieces to our application to make it work. And that is not easy. It takes much time to do that. Okay, so let's see. First of all, let's talk about our navbar. So we want to have a simple navbar from what has been. Actually, we need to run this. I hope you've run the CSS template so you know what you're talking about, right? But I haven't run it for you to see. So maybe let's see if, let me run it here, then you check it out. All right, so I think that is it. This one, you can see that is nice, isn't it? So we can maybe do this and we can extend this. Instead of having 3 columns, you can have like 4 columns or 5 columns. Any number of columns that you want, you can modify this, is suited. But that's a lot. Check it out. That's a lot. Maybe we can just use only one over here and now discard the rest. And that's going to be for our UI. And we can remove these ones because this has a sidebar already, so we can implement our categories here and do some slight modifications. And we can make this to be static for all the components, so we can have like a master page, and we can push this a little bit on top and remove this name from there because it's of no use. All right, so we have a slide, and this is a slideshow which has our navigations, so we can leave it there, and I'll add a few things up with it. So you can maintain the image, this beautiful girl turning up her head like that with the holding this small bag here tells you that yes, you're going to shop, so we can maintain it, right? Then we can also integrate, remove this default one, integrate this Crescenti type ahead search box, so we can search it. For now, we're not doing localization, so we're going to scrap off this, maintain the carts, and maintain this changes, maybe account, or maybe if the person's authenticated, the email address. Well, there's a lot of work that we need to do. Let's get started. So I'm going to minimize this. Let's go and create our navbar. This first thing that you want to do, we're going to be working along with this. You want to handle separate only this one. You can find this in the index, so start searching for that. Okay, so let's have our navbar created. It's a component that we need to create. Let's do that. So we can do that in the layout. Now in our navbar, this is the container, so we want to extract only this: home, about us, new releases, today's deal, and customer service. If you are saying, hey, where is it? Where is it? Netcode, where is it? Yeah, it's there. Open your eyes well to see it. Go to the index tab and the index file and check it out. Go top. You're going to find it in there. So from here, that is this one. So we are extracting all this, right? You want to grab this and extract it. There's an image, you want to discard it. So make sure you pick according to, you see from the container, you grab only this. So don't type, grab it because you have the file. Okay, so once you're done, we need to also add another component. Now, what will be the next component for us? Because you want to make sure these are the master pages. Let's go and grab our header. So let's create a header component. And on this header component, you want to use this, you want to maintain this. So let's call this as header. So we have this already created. Now we want to have this. So let's do that. And you know where this is found. When you go to the next one, search this one. So starting from here, that is a header section. So grabbing it, you know, it is good to use Sublime, so you can just shrink it and open it, expand, and you can get it. You know what I mean? So grab this. Okay, now let's go and create a component for that. So just create a component as header.razor or any component name at all that you feel like, hey, let me change this to this name. I like this name so much. You can just do that. Now paste this. Now here I have added few things here. I've added some Blazor code, syntax, and etc. Let's go through and see. Now initially, this is what we're doing. You can see we are using this Crescenti's namespace from here, and we are using from the component. So instead of maintaining this input tag, which is coming from this one, which is coming from, where is it? Which is coming from this one. You want to remove this and integrate the Crescenti's own. So there's another variant button. So I want to remove all this. And here we are integrating Blazor type head. So that is a component from Crescenti. And in here it's having a placeholder, search for product. It's having a search method that we need to define. And it's having a bind value, the selected product. So we're going to integrate that. In here, it has a selected template whereby it specifies the context.name. So there's going to be a get product. You want to search to the product name. And in case we find it, you want to display the product name as well. Then in case nothing is found, we want to display this. So it's a nice package that you can customize to suit what you want. Good. So after you are done, maybe you're saying, okay, if you want me to break this so you can see it well, I can do it. But maybe because it's there already, so I'm thinking of, you don't need to type it again, but still if you want to type it, I think it's here. Maybe this mine is quite a little bit different because I can see I have added categories and I've edited some things in it. So category is no more. I've added it here. Then from our HR, there's a line that I have added. Now there's a nice line over here. So maybe you can also add this line to yours. For design, you can design your own thing how you want it. And this I want mine too. And in that you're having another line. So the same line that I copied, I have the same line here. Let me also break this down. So from this, from this HR, I can break it down here. Okay. So that is this one. Then we are having a div class. So before that, we are having a component. That's a category component. Now, what is this component for? When you check this, the UI, you can see we're having all this. I want to create a simple component to handle all this. I don't want to include them here so that they become long. So that's why I created this category component. It is not yet created. So let's go and create it. Then we come back again and check what is in. So let's add this component as category component. And now when we come here, we can go to our category components that is coming from here. If you open it, you're having this one. That's my sidebar, this. So this is coming from the page, so you can grab only this one. You see? So you grab only this. And we come to the page and paste it here. But we want to make a service call because you have a category created already. So instead of pasting them manually or hard coded, we're going to call a service and I'll loop through the service and I'll put them there. Let's see how to work with that. So in our code section, quite simple. We call enumerable of what get category. And now after we have these categories, when the page is loaded, we want to call this service. Now we have these categories. So it's a matter of looping through it and then displaying it one after the another. This is very simple. So you can see that from here, we are checking if category.any. We want to loop through and now we are grabbing only one of them. You can see only one. And now from the href, it means we're making a reference to another component. Because if I click on category, I need to get all products related to that category. So we pass in the category ID to that component. This component is not yet created. So we need to create a component and name the route as main, product, and category. Then we need to consume a parameter, increment parameter of category ID. And have this, there is an icon. So you can see from this icon, it's coming from Font Awesome Archive. You can change the icons if you want. And here we are having the category name. So this is going to display the list of category as you can see from here. We are having a line over there and a line over here. So line on top, line beneath. And on top, you have category also added. So when you check this from the header, there is a line that we are adding. After the line, we add this category test. After this test, we also add another line before our list of components come. So this is a component list that is coming. After that, you're having this is also a line. So, okay, so this is a line. This is not a line. This is a button to click. When you check this is what I'm talking about. So click on this to close it, and now click on it to open. So close it, and now open that. You see it? So that is what we have in here. There is to close the button. You see this? Good. And now we have this to open. This to open. It's an icon that has been added. That is the white one. This one. Okay. Then we have a category component, which is in the form of anchor list, which you're going to be displayed in there. Then when we come to, we have a Blazor type ahead over here. Then I think it is clear now. Horizontal line, I've shown it already. isn't it? Okay, and that is a div also over here. Now when you come to the next one, you see all these we did not touch them, they are default. I only added the category component, that's what we created together, and also we added this and added a line, 2 lines. So I didn't do anything different. Okay, the same thing that we copied. Okay, now and I added this Blazor type ahead. Now check here. When you come to the header box, it's the same thing. From the login menu, it's the same thing. And now when you come here, we want to use an authorized view. And here, I think we need to build this or close and open it again. We want to get the user's email and then display. So when you check this UI, the one that you copied, there's this one. You see, you have the cat. So instead of this, you want to display the name or account. So check from here, you copy this. Now from here, you can see we are having this cat and cat. And this FA user. So you want to display the account or the name. So here's what we are editing. Now check it out. From here, you can see we are editing this FA user. And then we're using this authorized view. And in there we can get the claims from it as soon as the user is authenticated, and then get a type equal to email, grab its value. And that is all. Let me put this in the next line so you can see everything well. This can come in between. That's great. But in case user is not authenticated, we want to return this, display this account. You see that? Because when you check here, we are having the same thing here as cat. So we want to have an account in case you are not authenticated. But as soon as you're authenticated, then display your email here. Good. So we can decide to use this footer. We can decide to change this footer. Okay. How do we do this? Let's go and grab the footer from here. So check from the same page, and you can see down here we are having this footer. Go down, 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 down. And that is a footer, isn't it? This is a footer section. So you can just grab this. We're having this copyright as well. So if you want to add that one too, you can grab it. And from here, 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 you can grab this. Let's go and create a footer component. And in here, from our layout, let's add a new component. Let's say this is footer component. Let's paste this. So we're going to be changing all this, okay? In case you have some icons that you want to be using, like Facebook, etc., and all these styles, we can add it and add a help lines, a number line. Well, what I'm going to change here, it is only this. All right, reserve, designed by Bootstrap, a free HTML template, right? So maybe you can remove this in case you want to leave it there. You can remove it. So I'm going to say integrated by Netcode-Hub. I think I integrated in Blazor. Okay, so I can remove all this from here. Okay, then let's save this. You must make sure and find out to see where this component belongs. You see from here, it is not in this div element. It is separated, right? So let's go and create and modify our main layout. So from our main layout, that is over here, we have all this. We can copy this, or we can comment this, and okay, and here let's have our own main layout. So maybe we can start with what should we even start with? Let's have our div class, and on this class is going to use banner BG. This banner BG is coming from the template that we created. And now here we need to use our nav bar. Then we can break this, and we can also add our header. After adding our header, we can add our body. Then we close the div, and down here we can add our footer component. I needed to restart this the whole application again. Yes. Okay, so I have them, and that is a Blazor type ahead. As you can see, we've gone through this already, and the context not giving us any issue again. Now let's go and see. From here we need to have an authorized view, and here we're going to get the claims. We want to specify only the email value and then display it over there. In case you are not authenticated, then currently display the account. So we're going to have an account. In case you are authenticated, then your email will be replaced with this. Then we go with the drop down. So this drop down, where from this, if we check our this, we have a drop down here. So we are moving this drop down from here up to this, or we are using the same this drop down. So we can use even this drop down over here, and now we can change this to the identity. So that as soon as I click on it, I can have login, log out, and register. And in that, if you're authenticated, then you don't need to see register or login again. If you're authenticated, you must see logout. But if you are not authenticated, that is where you must see login and register. So we can achieve that by using this authorized component. So in here, we are using this authorized view. And in case you're authorized, see logout, then which is navigating to the component that we created, route. Then we are having this in case you are not authenticated, then current login and now register. We have created this login, but we haven't created the register yet. We'll do that soon. When you come down here, we need to get product. So let's make sure we include the namespaces or the using statement. Get product. It's coming from this models. So in order to make this work for another component, I think let's move all this using to import file. Let's save. Now go back. So from here, it's going to be soft. Don't worry. Now when you come here, we're having this get products. But I want to get our product. And here I want to get selected product. This is for the search. So if I click on search, we have the list of product over here and selected product. And the reason why I made this is because as soon as I get the value of the search, this selected changes. We want to loop call an API so we can get or we can sort what has been the filter that's coming in. We can sort it and now display. So from this get section, you can see we are set. As soon as it gets set, we want to call this method like on selected product change. So call the function when value changes. And now there's the function. You can see we want to navigate to this search result, which is going to be a component that we're going to create. And I'll pass on this as a parameter, which is a selected product name. We want to grab the name. Okay. Now, when the page initializes, you want to get all products because that's what you're going to display when the person is searching. We can pop the selected product out. Now here, that is for search product, and there's going to be the method that we need to provide to the template search product. So this is going to, it's a Blazor search method, return tags from results, and here product.where name, we want to search by name or so search by name or search by description. So in case they do contain the search text here, excluding ignoring case, then convert all of these products into list and then get them displayed so user can select. As soon as user select, it's going to be directed to this component search results and then pass the selected name. Are you good? Great. Now let's see from our main layout what we needed to do. So here you can see our footer component is working. We have our header and our nav bar. Our body tag is over here. So all these are going to be a master page. Now this page is going to change, keep changing. So these are going to remain their static pages. Okay. So once we're done with this, what is the next thing that we need to do? We need to go in and create our home, an item list, and a lot, because we need to loop through, call the product service, get a product, and then loop through them, as you can see from here. So let's see the next thing to talk about. So let's see the next one. Now we want to modify this. So you see this, get started with this. You want to change this one, modify it to suit what we want. So let's go and create a component for that. And let's go to, and this should come in our pages. So maybe we can just remove this counter. And this is going to be displayed in the home. So I'm going to say home banner. Well, you can give it a name at all that you want. Now go to the source. And you can find them here. Let's see where we can locate this. Quite long. But check. You want to see where we have the list, the favorite and stuffs. Yeah, so this one. So that is a banner here, the banner section. So grab this. And let's go and paste it. So when you check here, we need to make some modifications here because you might not like all the text that we see. So this is what I have done. I have made some slight modification to this, to the CSS and so forth. So you see here, get started. Your number one number one shopping place. You see that? So that's what I've done. I think, let me break this. And okay, so I think this is clear now. And also break this. This can be in the middle. And that is a closing. And we have this one. So your number one shopping place. Aside from that, we have the next carousel item. So I'm having 3. You can add more. The next one here, and I'm giving it a border radius, so I can beautify it a little bit more than what you see in there. So 30% discount, and every Friday having the test dark, and I have the BG light. Okay, so I have the next carousel item, which is gets, and there's a border radius 15 pixels, and I'm having notifications, subscribe to a newsletter, and I'm breaking it. After that, this is the default one, so you're gonna have to push back and front and etc. So that's the ending. So we can create this. So once you're done, we go to our home page. Now we have 2 components created well. So in this home component, we can remove this. We can add this home banner. That is the first one. So it get displayed. Then the second one here that we need to create is our latest item. So you want to have one section of this, and I'll name it as latest item, so we can display them down here. That is per my view, but you can modify this. Okay, so let's go and locate where we have this man and woman fashion, grab this context, this section, and I create a component and I pasted it in there. So you see, working with template is not easy. You need to take it step by step. You can do all things once, step by step. Okay, so let's see the next one. Where is it? Now we can pick one of them. So that's the fashion style. Let's grab this. So grab this one and let's go. So in that component, let's also use this weather forecast. We can make it as latest product components. Oh, it's component. Let's make it as one component. And here, let's paste this. So when you have a look, you take a look of it. You can see it's a repetition. We're having this carousel inner. Now from this inner, you can see we're having this navigation buttons. Now if you open this inner, we have this carousel item. This mark as active. This is the second one, third one, because we have 3 items here. And that is what, when you open this, check it out. Because this first one, you can have, it has 3, then you have second one, 3. You can see the same thing. So we can grab one and display in a group of 3. It means we need to group this product. We need to group them and display them. But here I want to make it 4, not 3. So I came by getting this code beneath to make sure I do the grouping nicely. And after doing the grouping, I make sure I display the grouping as well. So that is my code to display. I get the whole product, and here I get a product grouping. So you can see from here we get a product, and with the product we want to take only what here. We want to take only which hasn't or which haven't lasted for about 7 days a week. So 7 days, that's a week, right? So you want to get products whereby the user added or the admin added within 7 days, because we want to, this is our latest product. So we don't want to, we want at least for 7 days their latest. Apart from 7 days, their old product. that is to me, right? So I want to get a 7 days and compare. So it means I'm going to search for product created date, and that's where I can pinpoint and I'll extract them. If I do that, I'm going to group them by index and products. Then I'm going to divide by 4, because I want to have 4 products in each. If you want to have 5, 6, 7, or 3 or 2, then it's better that you change this number. And after that, you want to select them, each group of 4 members, to a list, so you can have a group key and members. So key 1 with members of 4, key 2 members 4, and so forth. Now when you come here, we need to override this. So I'm going to clear this again, because although we have added, but I want to modify this to make it simple. And in there, what are we going to do? Let me just grab what I have over here. So on top here, we are doing quite few things in here to grab it. Now if we check, it is the same fashion section that we copied, and it's the same thing. I did not change the UI. What I did was added C# code. So you can see from the product group, we are saying if there's any, we want to set this as an active. So active, we want to set only the first one as an active. In that, we need to implement our own logic to handle that. So I'm having a serial number of 1. In case the number is equal to 1, that is on the first loop, I want to set it active. The next loop, it won't be 1, it will be 2, because I am plus in it. You see, I am adding it. I'm adding plus 1. So it won't be 1. It keeps increasing as far as the number of here keeps growing. And in there, I took one of the elements and the div, and you can see I'm looping through this. So I'm having a for each loop for the grouping, and within each group I have a list of items. I'm using the same for each group again in each group. So group in the product group, and now product in each group. I hope this is clear. I'm having a title of latest product for each of the row product, and that's what I have the product image that we created earlier on, and I have just the price. And in case it is new, by all means, since you are grabbing all the new ones, I need not to check it. I can straight ahead and say, yeah, it is new. Then I have a button, almighty button of add to cart. Would you want to add to cart? Although we haven't implemented that, we're going to do that later on. And I have a see more. So maybe see more is where you can decide to display more pictures of that specific product, and also add a display product description. That is when the user clicks on more, you can do that. Okay, then when you come down here, we are checking if product.any before we display, because you don't want to display these navigation buttons, that's the left and right, while there's no latest product. You want to hide them. So to hide them, we use this to see. So in case product it has something, that is only when display this. You can go beyond and even check if the product count, the grouping count is 1, then we are not navigating to any place, so do not show this. You can add more stuff to this. Okay, so that's what we are doing over here to get our latest product in place. As you can see from here, we want to get this down there. Okay. So the next thing that we are doing here is we want to have our search results. In case I click on this, passing data, and at the end of the day, I click on search, and it gets to the main page. You can see we must have a component that can retrieve this parameter, go through the database, make a search out of it, and I return. We can handle the search by implementing the server side searching, or you can client side. But while we have a product already here, so we can do the client side searching. But when you have a large volume of data, I think you can search it through the API, because maybe it depends on how fast, how powerful the machine, the client browser, the browser machine, the client machine is. So you must think about all this. But for now, client side is okay for this. So let's implement a client side search. So in that, we go to our page in here. Now for that, we need to create our own component. So from the pages, let's add a component here. Now the name of this component will be search results component. Now within our search result component, I'm having a code down here to make sure we implement the search. Now what we're doing here is we're going to get a filter as a parameter which is going to pass on from one component to the another. When we receive this parameter, we have a search product. So when the page is parameter set, this set, we want to check if the filter coming in is not null. If it is, then navigate to the home. It tells me that user did not provide any value, so I don't want to continue with the search. Quit it and I return home. But in case it is, then go to the service and get our product. In case there's any product in there, then go and search. So split it. You want to split it, the word, in case if you are providing product, maybe 2 words together. You want to split it and search individual words. So that's what I'm doing here, search individual words. So that's the reason why I'm looking through where, and I'm saying if any of them don't contain this word, and then we are ignoring case, so that if it is uppercase or lowercase, it's still going to work. After the end of the day, I'm going to return them as list, and I return. So this here is return a list of search words, as you can see from here. Okay, and in that that's going to be the search product. So this is list. Now here I want to loop through this list, and I display the list of products which have been sorted over here. You see, this is quite simple. So you have to do that. It's still, we are using this for loop, that's a for each loop. Okay, so for each loop will help us to loop through, and I just copied one of the, as you can see from here, one of the elements in the carousel, and I just added this. So we are looping through this, and in that we are displaying this item. That's quite simple. And here you add the product price, and here with the new tag, in case the new tag product is new, the date here is with 7 days old. Then from between the day created up to 7 days, if that product date is found within, then it is new. If so, then add this new tag. Now I added this new tag as a badge. When you check Bootstrap docs, you're going to have badge in there. Round 1, you can have success, danger, alert. What is an alert? Lights and dark. So I chose success, and this is a font size of 2, and I have a new tag. And now here I added an ID so that I can push this to maybe right corner, okay, of the div element, this div element. Okay, and in that that's so the rest are default, and I still added this add to cart button, then see more, which are yet implemented by you. Okay, all right, so we are good with this. We need to implement the route. For the route, it should be at page, then we're going to say this is search result. Now this is coming in with filter, and this filter here is what we are specified. No matter if it starts with capital or lower, it's still going to work. You're going to ignore that case. Okay. Now when you go to the category, you can see that we check here from category component, we are navigating to this main product and category. So we need to create this, and I pass on an ID to this. So let's grab this, and now let's say we need to create a component, and what will be the name of this component? And we want to say this is main page. Okay, so we have already created a latest product, and now with the latest product, where do you think we should put our latest product? We can put this, I think, in the home page, because when the page loads, you want to see the banner, and so you want to see the latest product beneath. So here, let's also add our latest product component. Okay, now let's go and look at the main page, how this should work. Now this main page is going to accept a parameter, so let's put that in this component. So add result component, and it is main page. Well, I can add component. Now this main page component, what am I doing here is when parameter changes, because we're going to accept a parameter here as a category ID in the form of string. Now we need to get selected category, so we can display the category name as result for this category selected. Now we're having this product by category. So in here, this is what we're doing. You can see from this, when the page is loaded, it's the same thing. We are checking if category is null, then kindly go home. If not, then get category by ID, pass on this category ID. There's going to be string. But since this takes in a guild, we must pass it from guild. So you can see we have guild.pass. We got it. Do the same thing over here. And I'm getting product by category. So we have all these services created already. So we just consume them. And after consuming, what do? Just go and vomit them out. So how do you vomit? It's quite simple. Let's specify our page route first. So this is our page route to the main product category. Then I'm going to move this to the import because that is where it's supposed to be for global usage. And the main page, I think I should have simple UI to represent it. So you can see I'm checking if selected category is not equal to null as well as product category. Then I want to the same thing. So I copied also one from the carousel and I implemented that. And I added the same div new tag, display the price, the name, the image, and see more with the add to cart button. Check it out. Add to cart button. You have it here. Okay. Now the next thing is you have in case product is not found. I want to display something like, hey, product not found. This one I'm displaying. Then check here. From this section, we are getting this. So as we call this service, we can have access to selected category. Because as soon as I provide the ID, I can go ahead and get this category by ID and I get the name. And if I get a name, I am displaying the name over there. You see it? So that's the reason why I need to check if it is not equal to null. Because if I don't check it, there's going to be an issue because when the page is rendering and now this is not found, hey, I'm going to have issue here. And for a good client, it should resist even, or it should be able to stand with no issues even when it could not connect to the API. And that is what our system is going to do. We're making it as a resistant. Even if you couldn't communicate with an API, you're not going to see error in it. No, it's going to withstand. Okay. So let's save this. So I think this is a waited time for us to launch this and see the beautiful work that we've done, amazing work that we have done. Okay, so first of all, we need to build this. Whilst we are building, let's make sure we have our API also ready. So that's an API. Let's also make sure this is working. Okay. I think that is all, no issue again with this. Let's save the API. And now let's also build the API. So our API is ready for succeeded. Now let's run our API, which of course we know it is working 100%. It is working. Now after this gets run, we want to focus on the clients and see how the view is going to look like. And yeah, of course, our endpoint is ready. Now let's run our client 2 and check it out. So instead of setting up the client library, no, we want to set up the Blazor was in my startup. Take notes, set a startup project, and now give it a run. Again, let's check if our JS and other files have been integrated. So there's an issue. We have kind of issues that we need to solve. Okay, so all these files are not found. All these files are not found. Oh, okay. They're not found. Yes, I know they will not be found. You know the reason why? Let's go to check it here from our www folder. CSS, we don't have these files. JS, we don't have these files. We have only font awesome. We got it? So that's the reason why we are not getting that. You can see since we had the font awesome working, this is working. This is an icon cat is working. You see? So quickly, let's go and add that. We can get them from the same files, the source folder. So from this JS, you see, don't worry, just grab everything like this, copy this folder. So, and then let's go and paste it there. So once I have it copied, let's go to our www and I'll drop it. Now we have it, the JS over here. Not only that, when we check it, you can see we have a CSS. So with the CSS, that is mine. Let's go and grab all like this. And let's go to the CSS and I'll paste the CSS files in here. You see? Not only that, we have images. We are going to be using these images soon, because when you go back, you see we are having these images here. We are going to be using these images, but for now, let's grab these images and also drop it. So it is now dropped. Now you can see from here, I have all the images here. Although we are going to be adding them again, but you see, let's see the default images that it's using. Then later on we can get rid of that. I believe you have your own personal image that you want to add, isn't it? This for just a demo purpose. Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and let's rerun this again and check how beautiful our app is going to be. It's now loading again. Now let's wait. Check it out. Let me maximize it so you can see everything. It's still loading. We're also waiting patiently for it. Oh, that's great. Amazing. You see that? Okay, but we're having an issue. We're having an issue. So if I click on this, I have this categories. I have my version 1.1. Did you see this version? I didn't show you, right? But I hope you saw this. So I added the version to this. And there's a photo that we did, but we're having an issue here. What kind of issue is that? If I click on this too, it's hidden. Now check it. You can see I have an account. I click on it and log in and register. There's my card, and now here it is a search product. I pass in something like that and nothing is found. Oh, amazing. Great. Now check it out. Get 30%, but this is not working because this should have been bigger, but it is small. It means we need to, there's something is getting up here. We need to check this. Let's face that. Let's go to, and this is coming from the home banner. 30% discount, 30%. Where is it? This one. So we have our test, danger, get 30%, danger here. Span. Font size is 2. Test danger. Font size is 2. It's an H1 element. So it's an H1. Test danger. Font size is 2. And I think this should work, right? Okay. So one thing that we need to do from the app settings, our new tag that we add the badge, we need to also add the CSS to our app.css. So that's a new tag, I believe you've remembered, so we can push it to the right. Then when we go to our index.html, let's go and check it out. That is coming from our www root folder from our index. I think we're having this bootstrap again. Let's comment this because you're having another bootstrap here. This is bootstrap. So let's comment this. Okay, so we have a bootstrap, CSS. Then this also is coming from our distribution of bootstrap. Okay, so this, I think let's comment one because we're having two bootstraps files. And we can get the bootstrap over here. Okay. Now, when we reload this, let's see what it's saying. You see, we saw some error down there. Let's wait for this to run and let's check out the error and fix that. Now, let's go to an inspect element from our console. Now, let's see this error, where it's coming from. Now from here we have this 404 coming from this category single. It's not working. API, we couldn't get anything from the API. Then it is saying this does not contain anything from here. Yes. So that is coming from Let's find out and see where this is coming from. Okay, so we can get this from let's see, from this. I think when we go to our custom states, we need to surround it with try catch block here, because evidently when the app runs and we are not authenticated, you're not going to see that. So let's see try, then we can have our catch. And now with this catch, you want to return anonymous to stop that. And also when we go to our HTTP client, check it out from our client library, our helper HTTP client, where we are getting private clients. You see, we get this token from this token service. Now this token service could return null. So in case it is null, then we want to do this. That means we need to check our token service to see if there's no exception there. So this is our token service where we get this token from here. So we haven't returned null. Great. I think let's rerun this again. Check it out. We need to feed the API with some test data. So from here, we have in our category. So with category, let's see if we have some categories here. All right, so we have 3 categories. And I think from these categories, when a call is made, we should get it. So let's go and start from there, from our component, category component. That is where we're making a service call, right? Now this service call, let's put breakpoint here. Let's go to category service from our client library. Then category service, we have this. And here we want to get this category. So get category, get all. This will be called. Let's go and check it again. So if I reload this page, that endpoint must be hit. And when it hits, we need to check that. Okay, so this is hit. Let's step over again. Then here we get our public client. So we have it, which takes in 7025/API as our API endpoint. Let's see from here, 7025 API, and that's it. So we must have category and then all. Let's continue on and see category and all. So we make a call. Now let's see from here. Okay, so let's see the response. We have not found. Let's go and see. Okay, so this is getting single, but you're not getting single. You want to get all, right? So you're getting category and now single. Meanwhile, we need category and now all. It means there's an issue here. So get category dot get all. That is the issue. It means for product, we need to also do same. You get it? So for product, we have get all, and that is get all. Because get single and get all, the route are quite different. So let's reload them again. Again, it's hits. Let's see. Now we get it. We get a client. We're making a call, and let's check. Oh, let's go and check. Okay, what's the result? What is this code here? Oh, 200. We have them. You see? So continue on, and now we have it. So click on this, and we have the categories. You see that? That's amazing. Now here we can decide to also log in. And I think I have the category over there. And if I click on the, now we are not having any product. So we're going to create product soon. First, let's go and log in and check it out. So I click on this, go to login, and you see we have this here. Do you have any user? You sure? Let's use the API to access it and see. So from an API, we go to an authentication, and from login, let's check from, do I have admin at admin? Because that is what I usually do. Admin at admin. Then for the password, do you remember my common password that I use? That is an admin at 123. I like this password a lot. Now when we log in, we must get a token. Oh yes, we have a token, a refresh token. Now let's pass it on here. So admin at admin.com. and the password is admin at 123. Now, when we click on this, we want to check if the token will be set to the cookie. So from this application, cookie, open it, and there is our endpoint 7170. Now we have nothing over here. Click on execute, and let's wait and see. Oh, we have the cookie here. You see that? And as soon as it does, it's going to refresh itself. We see the token is here in the cookie. Great. Now let's see as it reloads. Let's see whether it's going to have my email displayed on the home page, or it's going to still remain as an account. If it remains as an account, it means there's an issue. Okay, breakpoint is set. I forgot. Okay, so we want to continue with this. That's clear now, so keep going. And okay, let's see. I am logged in, but I do not see my login here, right? I don't see. It seems I'm not logging. You have the token over there. Okay, so let's go and put breakpoint to a custom auth state over here. Let's reload. This must get hit. That is it. Step in, get the token, and let's see. Yeah, so we have the token here. Oh, do you see it? Now let's go and check tokens. So let's get claims. 7 claims. Okay. Now if claims dot not any, it's going to jump to the next one. Let's get our principal. We got it. And here we have our. So let's see. Is authenticated is false. Oh, I think the problem is coming from here. We need to form our claims identity. We need to specify the authentication type. Check it out from here. It should come from, I think, this side. This is JWT auths. That is where the problem is. I think we got it. Let's do this again. Let me stop this and run it again. So we are once again hit. Let's step over. Now we know that this place is good. Sets. Get our claims. Now we have our principal. Now we're going to check resets. Okay, so authorizing. Do you see that? Okay. Now let's check our claims. If possible, we can see, yeah, it's authenticated, is set to true. Amazing. Click on continue, and I can see admin at admin.com. So I'm logged in. I can also log out. Now check it out. After logging out, the page has to get reloaded, and after reloaded, check it out. I'm out. Let's do it again. We are in. You see that? We are in. Now we have one thing left. If I click on this fashion, oh, it has to send me to a page, main, product, category, and on the ID. But I have product not found, and I have this issue. Why? When it's check from this controller, I'm having this issue from here, and it is saying that API call line 36. API call helper line 36. You see that? Let's go and check it. API helper line 36 is coming from here. This response. So that place, let's go to the main. That is coming from the main component. Now here, when the page is set, we call this service, category service, and get by ID. They are not found. So this service, it means we need to handle that. We can handle this service over here. So instead of getting this selected category, we can decide to set it as null. If we can do that, then we should handle it from the category service. Let's first point out and see which one is causing the problem. This is hits. Okay, so the first one is causing a problem. I'll learn both are causing the same problem. So category service, let's go and see from category service, get category by ID. And we have it over here, get category by ID. This, we call this, and there's going to be an issue. So they're saying that return null. Oh, okay. Return null. So this null, when it returns it, and we want to assign this null, let's put a breakpoint here, and let's do it again. Point is hit. Check it again from here. Then step over. So we're going to make a call. And now make a call to this. And okay, what's the response here? Results here is going to be 404, not found. Okay, not found. So here, if it is return result equal to null, result is not null, it is not found. But this will not work. You see that? So it tells you that we need to modify that code well, because we're having not found as well. So we can say that if results dot status code is equal to status code dot not found, then we want to return null. You see? Then if it is null 2, you want to return null, or do this. Now we need to grab same from get by ID. Then let's see from here. This can also return not found. So we need to also maintain the same thing. Issue solved now. We can need to replicate same thing in the product, because when it's time for product, we're going to have the same issue. So if it's not null, we want to return empty array, get product by ID. If this is not also found, then let's also return same empty array. But this won't be array because this is just a single one. So category service, it means when you go to the list, saying now you want to return this. Close it. So maybe we can check if only maybe the status code is success. That is where you want to read this, else return now. So we can, because maybe for now we have not found, so we want to return now in case tomorrow we implement bad request. Then unless we come here and do the same, so we can encapsulate it once and return it. But for now, this is okay. It's gonna work. Let's see. Okay, so this is working. Click on this, go to fashion, and no product found. Yet we are still having this unhandled exception. We need to check it again from here. Now it is coming from category service line 113. Category service line 113. Okay, so we are here. Okay, so get category. Oh, we need to do same here. I forgot. Okay, so we can do this, or this results. If it is success, that is only when we want to do this. Maybe we can actually do that. Let's say we can say that if results dot a success status code, that is only when we want to do this, right? Let's say return, else return this, else. I think this is better done. And here we're having just a few lines of code, but it's going to work, going to encapsulate everything and work here. So I think maybe this is the good option that we need to use and get rid of all this. So if the result status code is success, then return this. This should be returned. else do same. Nothing get by ID. Now for get all, we need to do same, so we can grab, I think this, get all, and let's have our else, that is list, so let's return this, that is get all. We need to return, we need to do same to product, so we can streamline that. I think this is the right time for us to do that. Get product by ID. Now for get product, get our product, let's do same. Now let's save and let's see. Okay, now we get a list fashion. Now we are in here, and I think breakpoint is hit now. We don't want to hit breakpoint again. Again, this also hits. Continue on. Now you can see there's no error. We are having no product found. If we go to electronics, we are doing the same thing for jewelry. You see the ID keeps changing. We do the same thing. Now let's go and say, let's add product and see whether we're going to have it in the home page. Now this page here. So let's go and do that from the UI. So we have category already. When you check from our category, get all, we have this fashion. So let's grab this ID. Then let's go to product and add. We need category ID. And I say this is product 1. This is the price that we want. Quantity. Let's save this and see. Now this has added. So let's say product 2. Execute. Product 3. Execute. 4. Gone. And the last one 5. Gone. Now if I copy another category ID, that is for electronics, let's grab this ID and update. Let's add a different product. Product 6. Add it, and now maybe 8, 9, last one 10. So when you go to, oh okay, so product field is required. I think there's an issue here. Let's go and grab the ID. Well, okay, I think the D is only 1, but we made it 2. The D is 1. Okay, so it means you have to add 9 again. You have to add 8. Then you have to add 7. Okay, so when we go to product, get all, we must have at least 10 products. We have them here, right? Now when we go to get product by category, and categories, get product by category. So let's grab one of the categories. Let's say for fashion, let's grab this. Let's go to get product by category. Pass in the category over here. Click on execute. Okay, so we are having this cycle that was detected. So we need to add this. Let's configure this in the API. So in the API, we're going to add that to the controller service. Where is it? Where is our controller? So here, so add JSON options. You need to specify an option in here, and this option should come with. So add JSON options and remove this. So an option should come with JSON initializer options. Then you want to use reference handler dot ignore cycle. So you need to add this. You can remove all this, and I think we can add this as name using statement. Okay. So this, I think this is solved. Now if I run this again, that's an API. The UI has no issue. It's just the API. So let's run the API again, and this will work. After that, the UI is going to consume it, and you're going to have a beautiful app. Let's go and cross check. We still have the, let's go and get all the categories. Let's pick fashion ID. Last one, by category ID, paste it on, execute, and we must have our products. You can see we have all these products that is working. Now our UI must work. Have a look. Click on this. Let's refresh our app. And the next thing that we're doing is fashion. I think we're supposed to display the product here, but we are not. If I click on fashion, no product, electronics, no product, jewelry, no product, this shouldn't happen. The call should be made. So from our network tab, if I click on fashion, we're having 404. Let's find out. 404. Okay. See fashion, network tab, single. Okay, we are getting our single. API category single. No, this should get up by ID. So that's what the problem is. We must also check that. So it gets past the ID, and now here it is get, and we're getting our product. So that should be get. Okay, so it means let's find out and see how we should work with that. We created controller, I think so. Let's check our controller first from an API. Now in our API, we go to category controller, and I created this products by category. So it means we need to go to our constant. This is our API. Let's minimize that. Let's go to our helper folder where we have our constant, and from the category we need to add one here, category, then product by category. So we can say get products by category. So once you have this, let's copy this. Let's go to category service, and instead of get all, it should be get products by category. Now let's run this again. Okay, so it's ready again. Now if I click on fashion, we are still getting no product. And if I check from here, on the network tab, we're still getting the same single, which shouldn't be single. Okay, so let's go to the main component, category service, and we are getting get product by category. That is gets. We have an ID to string over here. Okay, this is our product. Put breakpoint. Let's go to the main component. So here, get products by, we want to get this category before we get this. Now when getting to this, giving us issues. So get by ID and single, and we are not specifying the ID there. Category service, get by ID here, put breakpoints. We have the ID down. Okay, let's go and make let's refresh this page. That is the main component. Now that is hit, so we check, we get public clients, then so get by ID, we provide an ID. There is the ID, then we check from the status, and that is 404 not found. Let's check from here. Okay, so we're getting the single, but we are not providing the ID to it. We're not providing the ID to it. So let's see how, let's check our PI call helper. So if it is get, ID is, if it's not equal to null, then we do this. So I was trying to check it from here, and I realized that it is coming from this. From here to this and to that. Now when you check our API here, we are setting the ID, but check it out. ID is not found here. The reason why is coming from this. We're saying id.toString, and this is void. We are not setting up to anyone. So this should have been the right way to do it. ID is equal to id.toString. Oh, you forgot. So I think now let's reload it, and now this should work now. So we go in there again, and now we click on fashion, and let's see from this is hit. Continue on from here, and this also hits. We can just go up and check it from here and from here. Let's check whether we have some product and result. Okay, so we want to, now what is the result here? Let's see from this result. It's 200, so that's fine. We have it. Now this is going to skip this, so we know. Then we have this here. Great. We did not add any image, but you see we are now having these images, the products here, right? So that's the product that we added from product 5 up to, back. See here, product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why are we having that? Let's check for only electronics. We have from 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now for jewelry, we have none. That is none for this. To confirm for this, let's go and check from this. How many do we have? We have product ID, product 1, product 2, product 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, then we also have product 1 again. Yeah, so it is the same thing, because we have product 1 and 4. So we have added multiple products. I remember that I've added some previously, and we are having another one over there. Okay, so we have all these products over here and that fashion, and you can see our categories and the products are working. Okay, so fashion. So breakpoint is hit. There's no breakpoint here, but it keeps telling me there's breakpoint. Okay, we have them. So you can see now this is working. Now search for this. If I click on product, see what happens. Because I have all list of products from product 1, 2, 3. I click on any of them to navigate me to the search result, and I'm going to have access to that product. I'm having the search result here. If I click on fashion, I'm going to have this breakpoint hit again. Continue on. And I'm having fashion product, electronic, and I should have electronic product. Continue on. Check it out. Yes, so we have it. So we've been able to create a category, our component, our authentication. So all we have left is our cart service and administrative work, right? How to add and update. All right, so I believe you've come so far. Let's take a break and hopefully we're going to continue on next time. So stay tuned for the next video.